Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. I see my scarf just doesn't really want to cooperate, so let me try to, okay, that looks better. Hi, I'm coming to you today with a book review. And the book, I was kind of inspired to do a book review on this because I saw that Miss Ember Honeyraven has recently purchased this book, and it's kind of a favorite of mine. And so I was like, oh, let's do a review on that book because it's really kind of interesting. So the book in question is Sabbat Entertaining, Celebrating the Wiccan Holidays in Style by Willow Polson. I hope that's how it's pronounced. Really interesting book. And I think that Willow is kind of a crafty witch, if you want to look at it that way, because it says here that she's the author of Witch Crafts, and she's also let me see if I can put some things down without causing an avalanche. See, she's also the author of The Crafty Witch, and I think I have talked about this book before. I kind of need to go through my I have a document that I keep a list of everything. I may or may not have talked about this before, but this is 101 ideas for every occasion. If I find that I haven't really talked about this before, then I'll come back and do a review for this. As you can see, this one's got some helpful finders throughout it, and it's one that I reference quite a good deal. Sorry, I feel like I'm not enunciating things well today, so let's see if we can get that better. So anyhow, this book, Sabbat Entertaining, it has a copyright of 2002. It's just over 200 pages, and this particular one is a hardcover. I'm not sure if it was available in softcover, and I didn't even take the time to check to see if it's available on Amazon. I'm going to assume that it is because I've purchased books from Amazon that are older, so it might not be a new copy, it might be a used copy. I will put a link in the description box to take you to Amazon. Of course, I like to say that I like to purchase as much as possible locally and support my local metaphysical store. That being said, so what this book is, it's broken down into 8 chapters for the 8 Sabbats of the year. And what I like about this is it's really handy, because it's got everything like in one location. It's got the whole wheel of the year in one location. So it starts off with Yule, the winter solstice. That's the first chapter there. And so what Willow does is she kind of goes in and she gives you some historical backgroundy story, tidbit information, that talks about things that are pertinent to that particular Sabbat. So in this one, she talks about hand shadows and of trees and traditions. There's something interesting in here called the Flint and Steel Fire Starting Contest. So that's something if you have a larger group that meets for Yule, you might be able to do a flint and steel fire starting competition as part of your ritual. If you're big into fire in your celebrations, that might be an interesting contest for you to do. There's also a section on mistletoe. She has a carol in here, and I'm a sucker for Wiccan inspired music because I think I've talked about this before. I think that's kind of where we're lacking, not only in our Yule celebrations, but in our religion in general. I grew up Christian, and so I grew up, singing hymns and stuff like that. So I kind of like singing. So to see something that's adapted with witchy words, love that. There's also a craft section. Miss Willow, as I said, she must be a crafty witch because she does a lot of books about crafts. And so there is a Yule cross stitch pattern, which is kind of nice for any of you cross stitchers there. Not me. The roomie does it, and she's awesome. I am not that. No, it's too crazy. There's also some things like paper cornucopias. Something that I saw interesting in here was reusable gift bags and Yule log candle holders. There was something else. Yeah, there's paper animals, and so there's actually some patterns as well. So that's kind of fun. And like I said, it's broken. These are crafts for Yule, and everything is different as you move through the year. One thing that I particularly like about this book is that she actually has a menu for a feast. And again, everything is specific to the Sabbat. And so it's going to have foods that would have been popular or mainstays for our ancestors as they, celebrated the wheel. So for the Yule menu, we have winter vegetable soup, in quotation marks, whole wheat buns, memories of summer fruit salad, persimmon, I think I say that, persimmon, that's right, cranberry quick bread, pomegranate pie, which sounds amazing, golden sun cookies, spiked hot cocoa, and assorted hot teas. And there's actually the recipes in here for each of those items as well. And so I know I've had this book for quite some time, and I know that early on in my practice, as we were learning about the wheel of the year and things, that this was a really handy guide to have, when you're planning a ritual and we usually do a potluck for each Sabbath. And so, if someone is struggling, with ideas for what to bring for a potluck, this is a really nice laid out menu to have with recipes. And so that can be like really easy. And I know that now we're in the internet age and it's super easy to go look up things, but I kind of like my books and I kind of like to reference my books. So I remember really referencing this book for that purpose early on when I purchased it. There's also a section here for decorations, like how to decorate your home or how to decorate your ritual space for Yule. And that's what we have here. And as I said, as you go through, of course, Imbolc is next. There's different crafts. There's different history. There's different things like that coordinate with that Sabbat. And of course, as you move through the wheel. Now, there are a couple of sections where there are some colored pictures. So there's, this is for Yule, obviously. And so it shows the paper cornucopias. Man, my tongue, I just have no control. And I showed you the animal patterns. There's the animals right there, all cute and such. And so this kind of this has pictures for the first 4 Sabbats. And then if you go deeper into the book, there's another section that has the other 4 with colored pictures for those 4. So all in all, I think this is a really helpful book. Again, as I said, especially for someone who might be new to the craft and looking for something that might have information all in one book. Now, I haven't seen, and I might just be missing them, but I haven't really seen too many books like this. I've seen some that have some elements, and of course, the Llewellyn set of books that they did like in the early 2000s maybe, that are basically about this size, maybe a bit bigger. They're softcover. There's, of course, a book for each Sabbat. Those are really good too, because that breaks down the Sabbat one for each book. But then again, that's 8 different books. So if you were looking for something more compact, then this would be good for that purpose. And of course, Llewellyn has, I don't know, I haven't bought any of the newer ones that are like smaller, like they're about that size, of their Sabbat books. I haven't purchased any of those just because I have the ones and I feel like I'm okay with those. I think one of my Coven sisters actually has the set. I'm not sure exactly what are in those because I haven't really looked at them. But again, you're still looking at 8 different books. While they might have more information, that you've still got 8 books. I think for what this is, I think this is a really interesting book. And if you can get your hands on it, I think that it could be really beneficial to you. As far as a broom rating goes, I think I would give this a really solid 3, just because it's more towards it would be more helpful, in my opinion. This is my opinion only. It would be more helpful for a newer witch. I haven't really picked this off the shelf lately, but I still think it's a beneficial book. And, you know, a read through, you know, it's good for anybody, but I think it'd be really beneficial for somebody that's new. So there you go. There's my review for Sabbat Entertaining by Willow Polson. If you learned something from this, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's maybe in that area, or I don't know. And if you have this book or have anything to say about this book or my comments on the book, please feel free to go ahead and leave a comment below. And as always, thank you for walking the path for a little while with me. And until next time, blessed be.